The mission of VLF is the same as it always has been from the beginning, except now it's expanded and enhanced. We want to be America's only purveyor of bespoke, high-end luxury.
So, let's take a look at the Force One V10 with 745 horsepower.
I think it's kind of natural that an American supercar is born in Detroit. So we built the car here in Detroit. We have a manufacturing facility here, actually it's in Auburn Hills, where we're going to manufacture the car, which is, I think, there's some amazing people out there. Now, obviously Detroit has so much talent that this is the perfect place to actually build an American supercar. So it's got all its roots here.
And also here at the Detroit Auto Show, you're on the main floor now. Talk about the excitement of being inside here.
Well, that's, of course, I mean, that's something that always is almost is a must if you really want to show a car here. So we are very happy to be inside the Detroit Auto Show together with all the big automakers. We are probably, well, we are the smallest one, there's no doubt about that. But, you know, we do something that's special and something a little more unique, and we think there's a niche for that. The body is all carbon fiber, and it's made in Auburn Hills. I designed it, you know, so it's all new. Yeah, it's done here.
What can you say about Aston Martin's accusations? And you know, you came out with a pretty strong statement last week about that this car is not that similar to what you designed for.
Well, why don't you take a look at it? I think this looks like an American supercar. It shows power. It's, you know, shows its brutal force, which for me is really American. There's something unique for me about American design. And that is, it's not timid, it's not understated, it's all about showing what you got. That's for me American design. You look back at the 50s and 60s, the muscle cars, and this here, you see the air intakes, you see the aggressiveness, you can see this car got 745 horsepower. I think it's got its own unique proportions. Look, front engine, long hoods with wheels sitting out is something that a lot of companies are using all over the world. I think we have done something here which is quite unique. Really American. In fact, this here, the greenhouse is really put back. I would say almost 80% of this car is dedicated to this huge engine, 8.4 liter V10, which is derived from the Viper V10. And again, Ben obviously have done a lot of the work with his team on with experience from racing, tuning the engine, tuning the suspension in this car.
What are the benefits of low volume manufacturing?
Well, I think the benefits of low volume manufacturing volume is that we can get quick into production with this vehicle. We kind of have a development process that allows us to bring cars into production in less than a year. Now, obviously, our philosophy is we got to share parts with other companies, because you can't develop a brand new car and come out with it, you know, every little screw, every air condition, stuff like that. So what we concentrate on is really doing what the consumer see, what's fun. And I think it's going to be a tendency in the future for small luxury car companies, not only us, but I think pretty much everybody. And you see it today. You look at Lamborghini and Audi, they're pretty much sharing all their platforms, all their air conditions, everything else. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have Lamborghini today.
What about the price? How much?
$268,000 starting price.
The process of getting safety certified and EPA and all that, talk about that process.
Well, you know, as Bob was just mentioning, it takes still a lot of time to do that. But again, if you start with an existing component, like for instance, the Stino, we have LS9, really a Corvette supercharged V8. So you're starting with something where we don't have to do all the work from the beginning. There is some certification to do, but it's doable. Again, if you start with an existing platform, which I think many automakers are starting to do today, as I mentioned before with Lamborghini, you see it with Bentley, you see it with a lot of companies, and I think it's something that's necessary if you want to bring new cars out fairly quickly, and also don't have to make these insane high volumes. We have a company where we have worked out a business model where we can be profitable with just 100 cars, which is very unique.
As a designer, what's your favorite part about this car?
Well, I have to say I really like the upper line running over the fender down to the window, and then really kicks up and ends in a unique window graphic, which is almost like a spear, which I think has never been seen on any car before. So that is extremely unique on this car.
Why is it important for this to be an American-made supercar?
Well, I think because we are so used to that, again, as I said before, over $200,000, you automatically go and have to pick a European sports car, which is great, but America is still probably the largest luxury car market in the world, and I think it's sort of a pity that there's no homegrown products. So we just, you know, Bob and Gilbert and I, we love cars. We've loved cars our whole life, and we just felt like, why isn't there an American supercar? Why isn't there a sports car in this segment? Not $1 million car, but, you know, around 250, 300,000. And I think that's important to be there. And same with the Destino. We have now also a four-door car, and wait and watch, we'll bring some other cool cars out in that segment.
Who's going to buy this car?
Well, funnily enough, we already have several orders in this car. I actually got an order this morning and said, I want to order the car. I haven't seen it, but since you designed it, I know it's going to be good, so here's my order. So I think you have people which generally just really love cars, love sports cars. They're enthusiasts, obviously. And yes, of course, you need to have the money for it. Nobody's asking for what the lease option is on this car. So I think most people are adding this to a collection of cars. We're going to limit at least the initial production to 50. We may do another, who knows, we may do another edition or something. So I think it'll be a collector item. I think it's people who want a vehicle which you don't see that often. You know, if you live in a very affluent neighborhood, you might see Porsches or Mercedes or whatever all the time. But in this case, you know, you're going to see this very, very rarely.